one more time for day 9 of our 25 Days of Christmas. Hi, this is Kelly with Kelly's Creative Dream Studios, and we're doing a really simple card today inspired by a gal. I found the card on Pinterest, but she has a 4-pack of these for sale in her Etsy shop, Silver Maple Crafts, I believe, and I will link her Etsy store down in the description box below. But although it was time consuming to cut the mat, it's a very simple card. Let's start and walk ourselves back down, and then we'll put it together. The sentiment came from a Stampin' Up! Set called the Christmas Rose. Now this is a 2-stamp set. It also comes with a big stamp of just the Christmas Rose, and then you can come back and stamp these, die cut everything out, and layer them in. So we have that. To do that, I use the layering circles from Stampin' Up! And they are retired, I do believe, but I will look and see if I can find a link for them and put it in the description box below. But the real red is cut from the scallop, and then I use the base. If you don't have a set of these, I suggest you put them in your crafts because you can use them for, even in your junk journals, you can use these. They're very cool. So I did those for the sentiment mat. Now below that we have the panels. The red is Stampin' Up! Real Red 1.5 by 3 3/4, and then the designer paper is 1.25 by 3.5, and I'm going to show you that paper pad because you know I have everything cataloged. This was from Sweetest Christmas from the Holiday 2022 line. So you can see this would be the back of those candy cane panels. There's some bigger ones with red and green as opposed to just the peppermint. And so I've been using this, and we may use it again tomorrow. I'm not positive yet. We'll see. I also used an embossing folder, Softly Falling. This was from Stampin' Up! several years ago. And I'm going to show you something in a minute. This is falling snow. Coming down heavy and then coming down lighter as it goes. I embossed it this way, but that's okay. It's still going to work, and I'll show you why in just a minute. Now, I had 2 of these put together. Well, I put one together, and then I thought I was putting this one together when I was recording. So now I got to go back and get glue all over my fingers yet again. Yay. So let me get situated here and sit down because I'm really tired of standing. I'm going to go ahead and put this. Now I'm putting the heaviest part of the snow to the right because this is going to cover up most everything. In fact, the panels will cover up most everything. So we're going to go ahead and put this down first. Now, if I wanted to save time, I'd just zip down some double-sided tape and I'd avoid the glue on my fingers, but you know, if you're regular to my channel, that I don't care for anything but wet glue on my projects. I want them to stay around for a while. I used my dried out baby wipes for picking up the excess glue when things squirt out around the edges. And I still managed to get them on my fingers. So there's our base. Now I am not doing an inside this week. I'm doing good just to get the videos done that I need. By the time you watch this, I will be in my first day of my writers conference. We will have started at 10 o'clock this morning. And I will be in conference late into the day, today, tomorrow, and Saturday. Okay, so we have that backed on our scalloped layering circle using the real red cardstock from Stampin' Up! And now we have these 3. Now the base of these are cut from real red at 3 3/4 by 1.5. And then these are cut at 3.5 by 1.25. So just a 1/4 inch all the way around from these. And I'm going to get those glued right into place really quick and try and keep the glue on the mat and not on my silicone mat. And then we're just going to try and center these as best we can. Now if I want to give these a vintage look, I could dust the edges, but I like the clean, crisp white edge on these. So there's one. Let's do the other one, the other 2, just like this. I have had some new subscribers come over to visit from Carrie at the Paper Monkey. Thank you, Carrie, for bringing friends. And I will get everybody shouted out probably the first of next week. I'll make a note that I need to do that. I've just been really focused on making sure I got the 25 days of Christmas going before I had to not do anything but focus on my writing for the next few days. So I really want to get this book done. This week is the writing conference, which I knew it was coming up this month. I just didn't think about it as being this week. And then next week I have a writing retreat that I'm going to be taking part in. Where's my wet baby wipe? I know I've got a wet one here somewhere. Ha ha, found him. See if I can get some of this glue off my fingers before I try gluing everything into place. Okay, now this is where eyeballing comes in. I'm not a perfectionist. I'm not going to get out my zero ruler and try to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be. I'm just going to guess. Kind of eyeball it. Right about there looks good to me. What about you? That look good to you? And then I'm going to give this a rub. Now you really need to impress this into that embossed mat pretty good. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to do one on either side. And I think I got that a little off center. But homemade doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be come with heart, right? So there's that one. And I'm really pressing that into that embossed image. And I'm going to roll this here in a minute just to make sure that it's in there. But right now I just want to get the mats in there. See, yeah, this one's a little off. I could have come over this way a little bit more. And if I probably wasn't trying to hurry, because this is like the 4th time I've done this, I probably wouldn't have worried. Now, if I was not wanting to keep this flat for mail, I would put dimensionals on the back. But right now, I need to make sure that it is going to go through the mail fine. And I'm going to flip that over. And I'm going to get out my brayer. And I'm going to impress that a little bit more just to make sure that that glue is making contact with the falling snow panel. I didn't even get that very straight going that way either, did I? Can you tell I've made a few of these today? I cut everything, did one for sample, did one for video and thought it was recording only to find out that it wasn't. You'll have those days. Okay, there we have not 1, not 2, but 3 of the 6 cards I have cut out for this particular design. That's going to do it for me today. Please remember to come back tomorrow for the day 9 of the 25 days of Christmas. And I will see you then. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and creative Christmas blessings.